come arrive, and just find the places in you that feel okay right now. Find the places in you that feel well or resourced or comfortable or warm or easy, or wellness is such a multitude of different things. It's not straightforward, it's not the same thing every time. So just check in, where is your wellness right now? Where is that sense of okayness right now? And really just dwell there. It's like hang out there in that comfy place in you. Hang out in that place in you that feels just okay. It just feels fine. That there is a sense of ableness or warmth or comfort or and then let your breath deepen down into your belly, so that as you inhale, you just get a sense of the rising of the breath. And as you exhale, there's the sinking. And just to say, if you do hear sound a bit like snoring, it's my dog Chico. I'm not sure you can hear it, but he's snoring like a steam engine beside me. So if you hear snoring during the class, it's not anybody else in the class, it's my dog. Okay? So just deepening your breath down into your belly. And just find the deeper sense of the breath. So let it expand a bit more, or stretch a bit more into it, or like bring it a bit more into your back or into your sides, or just like make it a little bit bigger. So if you were counting to the count of breathing to the count of 4 and 4 in, 6 out, just do 6 in and 8 out. So just a little bit longer, so you feel a stretching of the breath. And then stretch the exhalation. Really kind of, for me, it's like I sink, or I surrender, or I drop a bit more on the exhalation. So just squeeze out a little bit more into the exhalation. Nice, and just return to that place of wellness, that place of resource that you felt in the beginning. And being with your breath, be also with your resource. So kind of feel both of them at the same time. Nice. How wonderful. So bending your knees and bring your feet to stand. Your feet are a hip distance apart and they're flat on the floor. Your hands, they can always be on your belly. I like it on my belly, or you can have your hands long beside you on the floor. And then just flatten your lower back down and then arch into your lower back. And so this movement, the pelvic tilt, there's an ocean of information in here. There's so many layers of connection, of movement, of softness, of strength. Let's see if you can begin to unravel some of them. Can you feel what you always feel? And can you feel something new? What would be new about this pose for you right now today as you arch your back, as you flatten down, as you arch, as you flatten down, as you arch, as you flatten down? Really feel into it, sense into it. Nice. And then without moving your knees, tilt your pelvis from left to right. So lift your bum on the right and then lift your bum on the left, but keep your knees in the center. There is a slight movement, there has to be, but you're not rocking your knees to move your pelvis, you're moving your pelvis to move your pelvis. You just feel that. One side lifts, the other side lifts, one side lifts, and the other side lifts. Nice. So maybe bring your hands to the front of your hips and then drop your knees. So without moving your pelvis, drop your knees to the right. So it's like your knees have dropped down to the right, but your pelvis has stayed where it is. So you're going to encounter your inner thigh and it kind of feels a bit odd, because often when we drop our knees, we also let our pelvis travel and then come back up to center with your legs. Hands on your hips still, drop your knees to the left, but don't let your pelvis move. And then back to center. So just glide your knees from side to side without letting your pelvis move. What happens? Can you stay soft? For me, I start to arch my back a little bit more than I should. So how do I stay soft into the lower back as I draw my knees from side to side without letting my pelvis follow? Nice. Come back to center. Just pause for a moment. Nice. This time we will. So let your knees drop down to the right, and now let your pelvis also travel to the right. Let your pelvis travel back to the floor, and then bring your knees back up. So they're two separate movements. Drop your knees to the left, then let your pelvis travel to the left, and draw your pelvis back to the floor, and then bring your knees back up to center. So legs first, then pelvis to the right, pelvis first, and then legs back up to center. And drop your knees to the left, let your pelvis travel to the left, bring your pelvis to the floor, bring your knees back up to center. And then just rock as we do normally, where we just travel together. So knees and pelvis travel together, and then knees and pelvis travel together. And just notice the difference in that. There is a traveling with an ease about it, an uncomplicatedness about it, an easiness in just allowing the weight to fall from side to side. Nice. Come back up to center. Nice. Flatten your lower back down and then bring your right knee up onto your chest and squeeze it in. And really just hug your knee deeply down, feeling your bum, your knee, your lower back, your pelvis. And then holding onto your knee, just smush your knee a little bit from side to side. So smushing is not a technical term, but kind of just draw your knee from side to side, and you're going to encounter the bones of your leg in a different way. So as you draw your leg from side to side, your deep hip socket mobilizes. Your knee mobilizes in a different way as well, because the bone of your thigh is moving. Nice. And then lower your right foot to the floor. Other side. Draw your left knee up onto your chest and squeeze it deeply down. And then smush your leg from side to side. As you smush, feel the end of the range in wellness. So there's a natural place where the bone goes, that's as far as I can go, or just where your right arm can't travel any more around the corner perhaps. See what stops you. Is it the bone or is it the mobility of your shoulders? And then all the way back, bring your left foot to the floor. Nice. So arms along beside you, and then draw your right knee up onto your chest. Keep your arms beside you. Right knee comes up onto your chest, and then push your left foot a little bit more into the floor and try and bring your right knee to your right shoulder. It's never going to get there, but feel like the pushing of your left foot down slightly lifts your bum off the floor, and your right knee is slightly closer because you've rounded your back a little bit off the floor. Nice. And then stretch that right leg long until it floats just above the floor. Really surging down into the heel. And then bend your right knee, draw your right knee up towards you, and push a little bit into that, or a lot into that left foot, so that your bum has lifted and you're trying to draw your right knee a little bit more towards your right shoulder. And then lengthen your leg out long, let it float just above the floor. And last time, draw your right knee up towards you. Push firmly into your left foot and feel like your knee is really trying to come to your right shoulder. Get a little bit more convinced into the left leg. Like, how would your left leg help you a little bit more? Maybe push a bit into your fingertips or your elbows. And just see, how would I really try and bring my right knee to my shoulder? And then lower your bum down, bring your foot to the floor, and pause. Nice. So draw the left knee up onto your chest, push your right foot firmly down, and try and imagine that your left knee will come to your left shoulder. And then slowly stretch the left leg long until it floats just above the floor. Nice. Bend your knee. Try and draw your left knee to your left shoulder. Really pushing firmly into the right foot. Let your right foot help you. Feel that it's really endeavoring to give you a little bit more connection, more height, more rounding of the lower back or the tilting of the pelvis. And stretch your leg long and let it float just above the floor. Last time, draw your knee up towards you. As you draw your left knee up towards your shoulder, fingers are strong, elbows are steady, shoulders are steady on the floor. And just see, how would you get your left knee to your shoulder? And then lowering all the way down, bring your foot to the floor. Nice. So draw your right knee up towards you. And this time, put no effort into the left foot in the beginning. So right knee is up towards you, and try and bring your thigh to your belly. So it's a different action. Feel how, as you try and bring your thigh to your belly more and more, your heel to your bum, it's a very different set of muscles that are working. How would you get your thigh a little bit more connected to your belly? Nice. Release. Bring your foot to the floor. Try and bring the left thigh to your belly. Really draw it down. Your right foot is relaxed as such. There is some engagement, but I'm not pushing ferociously. But I'm really trying to draw my thigh towards my belly on the left. Nice. And lower your foot to the floor. Arms are long beside you. Flatten your lower back down and then slowly begin to roll up along your spine. So we were doing a lot of flexion before. Now we're moving a little bit more into extension. So just go slowly as you roll up and down along the spine. Really be interested. How do I travel up? How do I travel down? Nice. Traveling up. And traveling down. Nice. So bring your hands to the front of your hips and then drop your right knee out to the side and let it travel all the way down until your right thigh comes to the floor.
And try and make it so that your left knee stays in the middle. So my left bum has lifted off the floor, but my left knee isn't traveling over towards the right. My left knee is still in the center, and it's even slightly moving towards the left, just a slight amount. And then come back to center with your right knee. And then try it again. Bring your right thigh to the floor, but keep your left leg where it is, more or less, but your left bum lifts off the floor. And then come back to center. So what you're doing is you're tilting your pelvis to the right, and you're opening your inner thigh, and you're keeping your left leg where it is. And come back to center. One more time. Drop your right knee out to the side. Your left leg stays where it is. And just pause there. Push a bit more into the left foot. And come back up to center. Nice, other side. Keeping the right thigh where it is, drop the left thigh all the way down until it comes to the floor. My right buttock is lifted. My right thigh is resting on the floor. My right knee is resting on the floor. Come back to center. Drop your left thigh out to the left, bring it to the floor. And let your right bum lift as it does that. Squeeze your bum a little bit, push a bit into your pubic bone. Really feel the front of your body is opening as you narrow the back. And then come back to center. Nice. And again, drop your left knee out to the side, keeping your right knee where it is. And back to center. Last time. Drop your left knee out to the side, push firmly into the right foot, squeeze a little bit through your bum, and just feel like you're opening and widening into the front of your pelvis. Nice, and all the way back up to center. Nice, so we're going to bring it up a level. So stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling. And slowly drop the right leg all the way down until it comes to the floor, but let your left bum lift off the floor to get there. So my left bum has lifted loads, and my right leg is resting, well, not the whole right leg, just the right foot actually, is resting on the floor. But depends on the shape of your leg, what is touching. And then come all the way back up. Bring your lower back to the floor. And again, drop your right leg all the way down, but keep your left knee center and let your left bum lift. And come back up to center. Nice, change. Stretch the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Left leg up. Drop the left leg out to the side, and as it drops, let your right bum lift. Come all the way back up. And drop the left leg out to the side, let the right bum lift. And all the way up. Nice. Draw both knees up onto your chest and just rock from side to side. So later when we're in our warrior pose, we're going to be using that movement that we just created there in the pelvis, that opening through the inner thigh, that lengthening, and then roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. Just appreciate the movement and roll in the other direction. Nice. So you have the option of kicking your legs up and rolling up along your spine, but if that feels like something your spine doesn't want to do, then roll over onto your side and come up into your downward dog. So just find how you roll up, how you travel up into your downward dog. And just connecting in, find the length of you. Both heels are pulling down, your toes are wide. So how would you stretch your feet right now? What would you have to do with your legs to stretch your feet? How would you stretch your calves right now? What would you do with your legs to stretch a little bit more into your calves? What would you do to stretch your thighs, the front, or maybe the back? See which one you choose to lengthen. Maybe both. How would you stretch into your bum right now? What action or intention or direction would you cultivate in your body to feel a little bit more sensation through your sit bones, through the deep of your hips? How would you lengthen into the lower back right now? What would you do? For me, I round a little bit. I draw my navel towards my spine and I really fill into the lower back and I feel more sensation. How would you stretch into your shoulders, into your rib cage? Connect into your arms. What would you do to connect your arms right now? Nice. Slowly drop both knees to the floor. And walk your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. And walk them so they're a little bit narrower than usual. We were doing this movement before this morning. Oh, I just love it so much. So make a fist out of your right hand and bring it to the floor. And then pull your right elbow back into lawnmower. So pull your elbow back so your hand is beside your chest and your elbow is pulled back to the space just behind you. And then dive with your right hand underneath your left armpit and bring your right shoulder to the floor as you look towards the left. Nice. Coming all the way up, slide your hand along the floor, pull back into lawnmower. And this time we're going to go forward. Now glide your right hand forward, reach it out, find the place where you can reach no further, and then drop your head down. And let it be a wholesomeness that you're reaching into. If it feels too strong, then you've gone too far. It's as easy as that. Nice. Pulling back, draw your elbow back into lawnmower. And last time, dive with your right hand all the way under towards the left. Breathing into your shoulders, widening into your chest. Nice, coming all the way up. Both hands to the floor. They're a little bit narrower than shoulder width apart. And then make a fist out of your left hand. Draw your left elbow back like a lawnmower. And then dive with your left hand under the right armpit, gliding under. Nice. Sliding up, pulling back. Feel like it's a wholesome, continuous movement. And then glide forward. Again, let it be pretty slow motion, smooth, reaching forward, and then drop your head down. Each part of the movement is connected. Slowly gliding back in connection. Pull your elbow back. Every bit of the movement is connected, not just the end. And gliding under, every bit of the movement is connected as you glide under your armpit to look towards the right. Coming all the way up, both hands to the floor. And then just do shoulder shrugs. Squeezing back with your shoulders, pushing forward. Squeezing back and pushing forwards. Nice. And squeezing back and pushing forwards. Nice, tuck your toes under. And walk yourself to the front of your mat. And when you get there, have your hands a little bit forward of your feet. And then just have a bit of a wiggle. Bend your knees, stretch your legs. Bend your knees, stretch your legs. Walk your hands over towards the right, as far around the corner to the right as you can. And kind of, for me, I grab the floor a little bit with the left hand and I push it into the floor. So I feel a little bit more resistance to the left side of my body. And then walking over towards the left, all the way around the corner. Push your right hand a little bit more down and create resistance. And lean into that right side a little bit more. Let's come back to center. Bend the right knee more. Bend the left knee more. Right knee more. Left knee more. Nice. Slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide when they're near your thighs. Bring your palms together, looking up. Bending your elbows and bring your hands all the way down. Nice. Great. So we're going to do one sun salutation and then we're going to do some standing poses. So stand with your feet a normal kind of distance apart. Reach your arms wide, bring your palms together, reaching up, looking up. Feel really strong through your belly as you do this. Bending your elbows, bending your knees, really keep connected through your belly as you roll down. Rounding your back, draw your forehead to your knees. Bring your hands to your shins, lift your chest and look forward. Hands to the floor, stretch your right leg long behind you and drop it back into a lunge. And lean into your lunge for just a moment. Now step back into a plank and drop your knees to the floor, lower all the way down. Bring your fingers wider than your mat, lift your toes off the floor and keep your chin tucked in as you reverse backwards. Only go as far as your spine. It's always really different to each of us, different times of the day. Whether you dug the garden or not yesterday, all these things. Lowering down, bring your hands to the floor. Keep your chin tucked in as you push back and all the way back into your downward dog. Now stretch the right foot up towards the ceiling. Step the right foot forward. Drop the left knee to the floor and reaching up towards the ceiling, reaching up and looking up. Nice. Bring both hands to the floor and then bring your right hand to your right knee and twist towards the right. Glide your right hand until your right hand is resting either around your lower back with your hand on your left hip or just on your hip. See which one is right for you. And then drop your right shoulder to your right knee and then twist towards the right. Each part of the movement, drop your shoulder to your knee and then twist each bit of the movement. Notice it. How do you connect to the whole of this range? Drop your shoulder to your knee and then twist. And drop your shoulder to your knee, feeling all of it. And twist. Last time. And drop your shoulder to your knee. And twist. Nice. Bring your right hand to your knee. Round your back. And then arch your back, look forward. Rounding your back. Each part of the movement, connect into it. Use your hands as you round. And then as you arch, your belly drops, your chest lifts, you lift your head. Rounding your back. Last time, lift your chest and look forward. Nice. Both hands to the floor, stretch your back leg and either step it in one step or step it in a few hops forward, see what you need. Both hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide when they're near your thighs. Bring your palms together. Bending your elbows, bending your knees. Come all the way down. Hands to the floor. Forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift your chest and look forward. Hands to the floor. Stretch your left leg long behind you. Step back into a lunge. Just pause there in your lunge. Now step back into your plank. Knees to the floor, belly to the floor. Really let your spine express itself, not your head. So lift your toes off the floor. Have your fingers wider than your mat. Tuck your chin in. Slowly reversing backwards. Find the good in this, or the wholesomeness in this, or the wellness in this. Slowly lowering down. Keep your chin tucked in as you push backwards. And then all the way back. Downward dog. Have a bit of a wiggle. Bending one knee, bending the other knee, leaning your bum a little bit from side to side. So the side body sometimes in the sun salutations doesn't really get met. So having a bit of a wiggle includes the side body, which is really nice. Now stretch the left foot up towards the ceiling and step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee to the floor. Reach your fingers forward, rising up, looking up. And then lower your left hand to your left knee and the right hand to the floor. Turn your chest towards the left and then slide your hand either to your hip or let it rest in around your lower back. And then slowly drop your shoulder to your knee and really track the whole of the movement as you twist towards the left.
And drop your shoulder to the knee. And then twisting your chest towards the left. And dropping your shoulder to your knee. Twisting your chest towards the left. How do you feel this in your torso? How do you feel it in your hip? How do you feel it in your shoulder? Just keep twisting, feeling the whole of the movement. So many joints, so many articulations, so much movement possibility. Nice. Bring your left hand to your knee and push down into both hands, round your back. And then arch your back and look forward. I almost feel kind of fierce when I look forward here. I feel like some kind of Amazonian or something who's going to go hunting. That's quite amazing how gestures have a feel to them. Round your back. Arch your back. Get fierce. Round your back. Arching your back, looking forward. Last time. Rounding your back. And looking forward. Nice. Bring both hands to the floor. Step forward. Cool. Slowly rolling up. And reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together, reaching up, looking up. Palms come to rest in front of your chest. Nice. So stand back so that you're in the middle of your mat. And then imagine, so we're going to reach towards the front of our mat. So let your right foot kick back a little bit behind you. So let your right toes touch the floor behind you. And then bring your left hand to your left thigh. And you can have your right foot quite steady on the floor, but try and touch the floor out as far forward in front of you with your right hand. What do you feel? And then for me, if I lift my back foot off the floor, I actually feel weirdly more balanced. Nice. Come back up. And then do it again. Just reach, touch the floor, and then go, I need to go a little bit further. Maybe let your toe float, maybe keep it on the floor. Just find, where do you find the balance of reaching? And then come back up. Use your hand on your knee to help you come back up. One more time. Coming down, reach forward. Maybe let your back foot float. And coming all the way up. Nice, other side. So kick your left foot back, bring your right hand to your right thigh, knee, and then reach your left hand forward and go a little bit further. So I'm bending the front knee, and I'm really trying to grab something a little bit out further than what I can reach naturally. So I'm trying to reach and extend with my fingers. Nice. Push into your hand and slowly coming up. And again. Coming down, hand on your knee. You keep your toe on the floor or kick your foot up and back. It's a pesky fly. Last week as well in this class there was a fly that kept biting me. Tuesday night is fly night in this house. Reaching. And slowly coming up. So if you see me doing any huge big gestures, it's that I'm trying to swat a fly. One more time. And reaching out. Maybe letting the back leg float. Maybe letting your front fingers float. And just find that place of reach. And coming all the way up. Both hands to your hips. And just roll out through your hips. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. So standing with your feet around hip distance apart, bend your left elbow and reach your left hand up. And then reach even higher with the left hand and let your right foot float because it's not that you lift it off the floor, but it helps you to reach higher with the left hand. If your right foot lifts or you point into your right foot or you come up onto the right toes a little bit. And then exaggerate that movement of the right foot. So to counterbalance the right foot rising,
Lean a little bit more with your left hand towards the up or towards a little bit towards the left. How do you balance all of this? Nice. Lower your foot all the way down. Awesome. Tuck your right elbow in. Reach your right hand up, looking up. And then reach a little bit further and come up onto the toes of the left foot. And then go a little bit further so you feel the super strong part of you that is your right side. And then let your left foot rise a little bit more. And see how you counterweight that in your body. What do you do? How do you balance it? Super duper. Lower your foot to the floor and just roll out through your shoulders, big circle. As you roll, just feel the deep of your shoulders. And then roll in the other direction. Nice, so feet are hip distance apart. Just begin to roll down. Let your head be heavy. Let your knees soften, bend. Roll slowly down. When you're all the way down, let your knees bend. And then push into the floor and slowly come all the way back up. Really be heavy in your arms, heavy in your head. Nice, one more time. Slowly rolling down. As you roll, softening into, deepening into, widening into your shoulders. And then slowly coming all the way up. Nice. So the balance will continue. So looking down towards the right hand side, and bring your left hand to your left knee and just touch the floor beside your right foot. And then come all the way back up. Nice. And then bring your right hand to your right knee and bring your left hand to the floor beside your left foot. And come all the way back up. Nice. So that's where we're looking down. Next time we're going to keep looking forward. So slide your right hand down your right leg, but keep looking forward with your head. So it's like you're looking forward and you're sliding down and you're touching the floor, looking forward the whole time, coming back up. Nice. Don't underestimate how powerful these are in your pelvis. Keep looking forward, slowly slide your right hand down to your right knee and touch the floor beside your left foot. Keep looking forward and come all the way back up. Nice. So looking down towards the floor and over towards the right, and bring the left foot a little bit out to the side. And then bring your left hand to your left hip and try and touch the floor down towards the right. Like, how would you get down there while you lift the left foot off the floor? Like, I can't get there. Like, there's this funny place that I'm going, no, I can't get there. So coming back up, we'll try the other side. Maybe that was just physiologically something on that side for me. Kick the right foot out to the side and then slowly begin to lower the left hand down to the floor. More of a possibility, but still not happening unless I really bend forward. I'm trying to go sideways though. And come all the way back. Nice. So step your feet wider. Wider, wider, wider. So your feet are now 3 foot wide or so. Bend your right knee and bring your right hand to the floor, way over beyond your right foot. And then lean into your right foot and your right hand. Your left hand can be anywhere you like, and just lift the left foot off the floor. I'm looking down towards the floor and my left foot is floating and it's over back behind me, and my 2 toes are pointing towards the right side of my mat. Lower your left foot to the floor, come all the way back up, and then we'll try the other side. So bend the left knee deeply, bring the left hand to the floor, and then lift the right foot off the floor. How would you do that even? For me, it helps if I push into the right left knee with the right hand, and then bring both feet to the floor. Nice, bring both feet to the floor, your feet are wide, hands are resting on the floor underneath your shoulders, and then just rock from side to side. As you rock, just encountering the bending of one knee, the stretching of the other, the bending of one knee, the stretching of the other. What do you meet as you do this? Is it your inner thighs? Is it the lower back? Is it the strength of your legs? The flexibility of your ankles, your knees, your hips? So let any one of those factors limit you. So don't push through anything. Really allow that your knee might not be strong, your hip might not be flexible, your ankle might be weak. So listen and don't push through. So really go, oh, I hear you. Really be present to what is. Nice. Coming to center, slowly heel toe your feet all the way to center. And then slowly rolling all the way up to stand. Nice job. I'm just going to do 2 standing poses, and then we're going to come lie down on the floor. So standing to the front of your mat, and then stretch your right leg back behind you and bring your left hand to your knee, and really send your leg as far as you can behind you, and then step back into a wide standing pose. So my back foot is maybe 3.5 foot back, 4 foot back. My front knee is bent, and just check that your front knee is over your second toe. So when you bend your front knee, you should be bending your knee towards your toes more so than towards your big toe or towards the left. So really bend your knee so it moves over your toes. And then stretch into the right leg. And bring your hands to both of your thighs and draw the left knee back more. Bend your front knee more. Draw the left knee backwards and bend it down a little bit more. Nice. Reach your arms wide so they're straight out from your chest. Turn your head towards the left hand side and reach a little bit more into the right hand. So have a sense of the left knee moving forward and the right hand moving backwards. They're moving away from each other. Nice. Bend your left elbow and drop your elbow down to your left thigh. Reach your right hand straight up towards the ceiling. Reach through the chest and find that sense of extension. And then drop your arm over your ear and bring your whole right side with it. So really feel the length from your baby toe all the way into your fingertips. Nice. Turning towards the floor, bring your right hand to the floor, bring your left hand to the floor, step back into your downward dog and have a bit of a wiggle. Have a sense of your hips, have a feeling of your legs. And then slowly walking forward with your feet, all the way forward to the front of your mat. Slowly rounding up, rolling up through the spine. Reach your arms wide, bring your palms together looking up. Bring both hands to the right knee and then stretch the left leg long behind you and really stretch it back deeply and then step back into the left foot. Nice. So front knee, just check that it's bending over the toes and then turn your torso towards the left. Bring both hands to your thighs and draw that right knee towards the right and bend your front knee a little bit more. Stretch down into that left leg and feel like you're pushing down into the floor through that left leg. Reach your arms wide. Turn your head towards the right hand side and feel like there's a dynamic of your right knee moving forward and your left arm moving backwards. Nice. Bend your right elbow. Bring your right elbow to your thigh. Reach your left hand straight up towards the ceiling and create length through your chest up towards the ceiling. And then drop your arm over your ear. Bend your front knee a little bit more so you have a sense of really creating space through the whole left side of your body. Nice. Turn towards the floor. Bring both hands down. Step back into your downward dog and just have a bit of a wiggle. Feeling into your legs, your bum, your hips. Drop both knees to the floor. And then just come lie on your back. Come all the way down. So landing on your back, your knees are bent. Your feet are flat on the floor. Allow your shoulders to soften, your breath to soften. Have your arms so they're straight out to your sides into a cross. Nice. And then just begin to sway your knees from side to side. So sway them to the right and sway them to the left. But your pelvis will travel with your legs. And so as you sway one direction, as you sway in the other direction. Nice. So now we're going to glide. So your knees will drop to the right. Then your left leg, the foot will come to the right foot. The left foot will come to your right knee. And then your left knee will travel up in the direction of your shoulder. Coming all the way back, both feet to the floor. Back up to center. Drop your knees to the left. And then glide the right foot to foot, foot to knee. And then knee to your shoulder. And then all the way down and back to the floor. Just travel from side to side, gliding. As you glide one way, feel it through the shoulders and the chest. And as you glide the other way, feel it through the shoulders and the chest, your hips, your belly. You can, if you want, begin to do the football version of it. So that's where you stretch your leg out. You kick your leg out and you reach your left foot towards your right hand, let's say. And then come all the way back, bend your knee. And then kick the right foot towards the left hand. Just feel that. Feel it through the torso. Feel it through your belly, through the pelvis. If straightening your legs is too strong, then revert back to the knee bending one. Nice, and come all the way back to center. So drop both knees down towards the left. Okay, and then bend your right elbow and bring your right hand to the front of your left shoulder. So I'm holding on to that meaty bit at the front of my right shoulder, the left shoulder, and then slide your right hand down and try and bring your right hand beyond the left hand. So I'm trying to bring my right shoulder down to my left elbow more or less. And then come back to bring your right hand to your left shoulder. And again, sliding down. Reach your right hand beyond your left hand. And coming back. Bring your hand to your shoulder. Last time. Slide your right hand beyond your left hand. And then coming all the way back. Both shoulders wide, both knees back up to center. Drop your knees to the left. Bend your left elbow, bring your hand to the front of your shoulder. And then slide the left hand down your right hand, further than your fingers. Try and bring your left shoulder down to your right elbow. And then sliding back, bring your hand to your shoulder. And again, slide beyond. Really feel that reach. For me, it reaches all the way down to my belly and to the front of my hip. And then all the way back, hand to the front of your shoulder. Last time, gliding forward, reaching forward. And coming all the way back, both shoulders wide. And bring your arms long beside you. Draw your right knee up onto your chest. And as we did at the beginning of the class, imagine that by pushing your left foot into the floor, you can bring the right knee a little bit closer to the right shoulder. Nice, release. Squeeze the right knee deeply down towards you with your hands, and now stretch long into the left leg. Great. Bend the left knee, bring the right foot to the floor, and then the other side. Arms are long beside you. Draw the left knee up onto your chest and then push deeply down into the right foot, like as if your left knee will come to your left shoulder. Lower your bum down, interlock your fingers and squeeze your left knee down towards you. Stretch out through your right leg. Nice, super. Draw both knees up, squeeze them both in. And then come into butterfly knees. So butterfly knees, it's very nice having your fingertips on your kneecaps. Keep your toes connected. So the first few times you do this movement, go slowly because you're going to be meeting your inner thighs. And sometimes for me, there's twanginess that emerges from my inner thighs. So the first few times I usually go slowly, and then it really softens and deepens. So just feel that in you. How do you travel so that you allow a softening rather than a forcing of movement? And then roll in the other direction. Keeping your toes together, your knees widen, and then they come back together. And your lower back is staying more or less steady on the floor. So I'm not rolling like a clock on the back of my pelvis. I'm really traveling down through the midline with my legs. Nice. Now that we've softened into the inner thighs, slowly lower this baby toe side of your feet to the floor and let your knees drop wide. Hands can rest on your lower belly, or they can rest on your inner thighs, or they can rest on your chest, or whatever feels comfortable for you. And then with your feet, kind of walk your feet a little bit wider so that your feet aren't touching anymore, and there's maybe 6 inches between the soles of your feet. And then rock so that your left thigh comes to the floor and your right foot comes to stand. So this is the movement we were in earlier. And then come back so both knees are wide. And then rock so your right thigh comes to the floor and your left foot comes to stand. And then widen through both knees and rest on the baby toe side of your feet. So rock from side to side and maybe lift your hips a little bit up as you rock. So if I rock to the right, my thigh comes down, my left foot stands, and I lift a little bit up through my hips. And just feel that you rock and then lift. And then rock. So there's a standing foot that's really supporting the sense of movement. But it's not like a typical bridge. We're confused in our bridge because we have a thigh that's out to the side and where pelvis is slightly at an angle. It's always good to shake things up and to be doing things not in the typical way we do things, because life never presents you things in typical ways. Always learning, having a nervous system that can adapt to new ways of doing things, or different ways of doing things, or just doing new things is really important. Nice. And then slowly draw both knees together. Squeeze both knees up towards you, hug them in, and just pause there, really squeezing your knees down. I was talking about it with somebody today, and they were saying that for the last few years they've been doing one particular video of mine. So for 7 years I had one yoga video up online, which I find so adorable. So I had this 11-minute yoga sequence, and it was there was certain people who did it every single day for years. And so it has like 7,000 views, all these little bunny rabbits who were doing it every day, just rock from side to side while I tell you a little story. So every day they would do the same movement, and it was amazing. It's a really gentle spinal warm up, it's just amazing. And she said that she feels totally different with what she's doing now, which is the exhale. And she was trying to work out why, and we were kind of trying to work it out together. And we kind of came up with this notion that in the not knowing what will come next of these movements, roll into your lower back like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. In the not knowing what I'm going to do next, like I don't know what I'm going to do next, there's that sense of we have to really be present to the movements that are unfolding and how they feel in our bodies rather than what we do every day and how I always feel in things. And so there's something about being really alive in our nervous systems in a really wholesome, healthy way with this movement. Nice. Lower one foot to the floor, lower the other. And so you can rest in your end of class resting either with your knees bent or with your legs straight, or you can lie on your side, or you can lie on your belly. And you just find the way that you feel supported right now, or what would suit you right now. And just find it. What shape is the shape of wholesomeness? And we did a lot of inner thigh and lower back. So just listen to that, like what would be awesome? And just notice your breath as it rises, as it falls, as it just tinkers gently into your belly. Notice the way your lips are touching, or your eyes are open or closed. The skin on your face. The feeling of your hair. The clothing you're wearing. From all the different sensations right now, where are you quietest or stillest? Or I was noticing earlier that when I move in the morning, there's this sense of quiet, still satisfaction in my body, a sense of wellness. And so right now for you, where is that sense of stillness because we've moved? How wonderful. So slowly just taking a deep breath and letting kind of a yawning stretch emerge. So kind of yawning stretches have a contractile quality while you extend. So almost like
squeeze your hands into a fist, or squeeze your arms and then stretch your arms, or squeeze your belly and then stretch yourself. It's a very strange thing that we do for yawning stretches. So just feel how you do that. And then maybe yawn. And just find your way, either rolling your knees up or rolling your knees over, or rocking your knees, or doing whatever it is that you do. Nice.